Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Greg's Garage. I'm your host Greg, and yeah, this is my garage. Now we're a general power sports lifestyle show which brings you informative and entertaining stories from the world of power sports, with definitely a focus on motorcycles. Now last time we left you, we were in the middle of an interview with 2013 AMA Superbike champion Josh Herrin. Now Josh has moved on from the AMA Superbike series and will be competing in the MotoGP World Championship in the Moto2 class. He's already had some time on the motorcycle, already spent some time traveling back and forth from the US to Europe, so he's got a taste of what's to come. And we continue our conversation with Josh Herrin. We asked him the important questions, the hard questions, like, how do you pronounce the name of your team?
Everybody kind of pronounces it different. It's kind of like last names. You know, whenever I meet somebody from England or somebody from Belgium, they all say it different, but it's Caterham. That's how I started doing it. Pronounce it.
Caterham, I got you. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, you go into the Moto2 paddock. This is a new team. They have Formula One roots. You come into this team and you go testing. And like you said, you're 1.2 seconds off P1, but you're 21st. During the test, we're home in the US watching live timing and scoring. As a rider, as the team, are you keeping a close of an eye on the timing and scoring sheets as we are? I mean, for us, it's the only thing available. So we're just looking at your name, literally, hopefully moving up and up and up. What's the process you're going through when you're testing?
It's difficult because for me, I want to look at the times. That's, to me, right now at the beginning of the season, I should probably be more focused on getting comfortable on the bike, but one of the main things in my head is always where am I at, because I want to make sure that everybody back home is you know, making sure that their rider's doing good. But you know, that's one thing we've been trying to focus less on. You know, as the first test, it was like I was always going back to this TV looking at the times and stuff, and we finally at the end we're trying to just focus on the bike setup, and we were able to get a good setup. The second day we threw a good time down, and then the last day I started stressing too much about getting more up the sheets on the times. But one of the things that we were able to find out is, and I don't like to talk about it too much, but the motors that the teams run during testing sometimes are different motors than what they're allowed to run. If we were to show up at a race, a lot of the teams show up with like World Supersport spec motors that have over 10 horsepower more than what we have. So, you know, you try to get a tow with them and they're pulling away, and that's easy. I mean, I'd say over a half second, but to be safe, you say a half second. And that kind of gives you a little bit more confidence knowing that you're doing the same times almost as most of the guys, and they have different motors. But whenever we go to the next test at Jerez, the beginning of March, everybody's going to be on the same equipment, so we'll be able to see kind of more where we're at. And another good thing was that when we looked at the times from this year, the weather was about the same, and our time would have been P3 in qualifying. So the times are good. It's just that trying to see where everybody else is at with tires and motors that they're not supposed to be using, but they are using. It's kind of difficult to judge.
I'm curious about the tires you're on, because you're going to hear a lot of people talk about, you know, new situation, travel, new tracks. You haven't been to the majority of those. New atmosphere with the MotoGP paddock, new chassis, you know, new suspension components. I mean, basically, you know, they're very similar, but let's get down to where the rubber meets the road, the Dunlop tires. Is there any similarities in feel from what you've been riding on, you know, for the last how many years to what is on the Moto2 motorcycles?
Yeah, they're, in my opinion, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same tires. They feel the same. I haven't had to adjust to those at all. The one thing that I'm struggling with is the same thing I did on the Superbike. I was always trying to find the limit of the front tire, and I still haven't found it. I tucked the front, you know, the other day when we were testing, but it was just a mistake. But it seems like I can just go deeper and deeper into the corners, and the front doesn't ever move, and that's one good thing. But they feel the same, you know. The edge grip is that's one thing I'm kind of struggling with, is because you can lean the bike over really far and it helps to get the bike turned. But whenever I get on the gas, I'm struggling with edge grip. I'm, you know, maybe need to pick up the bike a little bit sooner. I'm not sure, but we're working on that. That's the only thing that I'm feeling right now that I didn't really feel on the Superbike. And I don't know the exact reason, but we've been able to kind of fix it a little bit.
Okay. Shift focus for a moment to social media. It's a big part of what we do. The amount of exposure that you get, the sponsor gets, makes a big difference. How interactive are you with social media, and how do people connect with you on your first journey into the World Championship?
Normally I'm really good at it, and I try to be. It's kind of hard whenever we're over in Europe because I always have to find Wi-Fi to get on, so I only really get to do it in the morning before I leave, at breakfast, and then at night. And so it's kind of hard now, but I try to get on there and answer as many questions or interact with as many fans as I can. And I use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If there's anything new coming out, you'll find me on there, but it's normally just at Josh Herrin. But yeah, we're on all the social media stuff for sure.
Plus whatever we can find from, of course, the website, which is Caterham/Moto2. It'll be underneath you right there. I'll put all that information up for everyone. I guess the last question for you with this interview right now would have to be, what is the thing that you're most excited about for 2014?
It was coming back to America and racing at Texas and Indy. It's still up there, but I'm really excited to go to the first race just because we've been testing so much. We've done 10 days of testing just in this month, so I'm ready to race just because I've never really been a practice kind of guy, as far as lap times go. I'm just excited to go out and finally race. And then another reason I'm excited to go to Qatar is because I have a friend that's based in Doha, at the military base, so it's kind of cool because they're getting a group of guys to come out and watch, and I think it's going to be neat to be in such a country that's so far away, but have a bunch of American support there and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then also we're going to Malaysia in a couple of days to announce some sponsors for the team. I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, I'm excited for you, and we'll just have to coordinate when we can touch base with you. I know you're going to have a massively busy schedule in testing, racing, and traveling, but hopefully we'll be able to check in with you every couple rounds and find out not only how it's going for you, but how you view the other racers that you're racing with in the paddock in general. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. It'd be neat to be on the show as much as possible.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for joining us here, Josh Herrin. We appreciate it.
Thanks. See you guys.
Yep, well, that's all the time we have for this one. Now, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, hit subscribe. We post some exclusive stuff on there from time to time. And of course, you can follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Greg'sGarageTV. On Instagram, Greg's Garage. And you can follow me on Twitter. It's @GregWhite. And for all the shows and stories we've ever done, just simply log on to Greg'sGarageTV.com and just hit play. That's it. We'll see you next time right here on Greg's Garage.